You want me to take your iPad away?
No!
Okay, well, it's time for bed.
No! Not going to bed!
Come
No!
on. Come on.
No! I'm not ready to go to bed.
Come on. I gave you an extra hour.
I said no, it's not time for bed. Chill out. It's 9 o'clock. I am 12 years old. Stop treating me like a baby.
Let's
I'm
go.
not going to bed. We're not going to bed. Can you hear her?
Let's
no!
go.
We're not going to bed. No! What do you not understand?
Okay, fine. You can have 1 more hour.
You go to bed. Yeah, you go to bed. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 13, verse 24, and it says, He that spareth his rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chasteneth him betimes. I want to give all honor, all glory, and all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders of the nation of Israel. Shalom to you brothers out there that are laboring, enduring the elements, making your body a living sacrifice, trying to seal the elect, making your call election assured, seeking out your own salvation. As well as you sisters that are learning, listening, applying, being obedient to your husbands. Shalom, shalom. Again, it's the brother Zachariah coming back to you with another lesson, and Lord willing to be edifying unto you. Okay? And as you see the video clip that I put in the beginning of this lesson, man, I tell you, I've seen kids like this, man. It's crazy when you don't discipline them. I grew up in a home where we were disciplined. You done things bad, you go against what your parents tell you and do, or just doing something bad or something like that. Man, you got in trouble. All right, but a lot of these kids nowadays, they take the discipline out of the home, and even the scriptures tell you that in these last days, man, women will bring forth monsters. All right, and that's what you're seeing with these kids, man. They're like, monsters as in little demons, man. Okay, which is all out of order. All right, so I got the word chastening up, okay, and we're gonna read these definitions, okay, and it says, let's see, let's double check this. All right, yeah, all right. It says to inflict suffering upon for purposes of moral improvement. Okay, you see that? All right. Hey, the Heavenly Father, he chastises. Okay. He said the Bible tells you he chastises them that he loves. Okay, and who does he love? The Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. All right, all right. So he will discipline you. Okay. Which I'll read this again. It says to inflict suffering upon for purposes of moral improvement. Okay, chastise. All right, and synonyms, similar words. You got punish, discipline. You see that? All right. It says to restrain, to subdue. Like a kid just out of control, being bad. Okay. It was very common back in the day. You would see a child getting they behind torn into. Look, 144. Call all Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right. You will see a kid getting they behind torn into, man, in the grocery store, because they was being bad. You take a kid, a lot of times nowadays people don't even want to take the kids into the grocery store, which that's probably your best option, but sometimes people don't have a sitter or somebody to watch the kids, so they got to take them with them. And like I go when I'm shopping at Kroger or whatever grocery store I go to, man, and y'all see sometimes they bring kids in there and they're running through the aisles out of control, grabbing things, crying and making noise because they want something. They see candy and stuff, and that's the way it was back then. But back then, you see a child getting that ass whooped, excuse my French, but that's the way it was. And but nowadays you don't see that. They just let them loose and let them do whatever they want to do. All right. So, we'll go back up to this precept again. All right, Proverbs 13:24 says, he that spareth his rod hateth his son. So if you decide, I ain't gonna discipline him, you pretty much hate your child, because you just letting them just run free and do whatever, and ultimately when they get older, they're gonna because my mom would always say this, she used to get on, and not to try to put my sisters and them, their business out there like that, but when she was raising her son early, she wouldn't discipline him and just let him have his temper tantrums, even if it was in a store, in a restaurant, wherever case may be. And my mom said that you better check that now, because when he get older and you tell him no on something, he gonna get mad, and then he gonna eventually put hands on you, And a lot of times that happens, you know, when a child is spoiled like that, they don't get their way. Okay. So again, it says, he that spareth his rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chasteneth him betimes. All right. So you have that. All right. But one of the things I was looking at that video, I was looking at the comments because I got the video off of Instagram, and it, people were asking, where's his father? Because you can clearly hear it's the mother talking, but there's no man present. All right. Well, we know one of the curses was that, you know, you go to Deuteronomy, is that the man will leave. Okay. And all this was because we didn't keep the covenant. Okay. I didn't grow up with my father. All right. But I wasn't raised by my mother either. I was actually raised by my grandparents. You know, now there were times where we were with my mom and there would be a man present because she got remarried or whatever, you know, but, you know, it's nothing like having your father, but I see the reason for that being that split, man, because of my father's ways, which we're going to get into that in this lesson. All right. Just sharing, you know, my testimony. You know, Yahweh Shem Yahushua really spared me by letting me be raised by my grandparents, which gave me morals and stuff like that. You know, I was taught right from wrong and things like that and how to conduct myself. You know, I didn't grow up, you know, being raised by my mom to where I'm bitter towards just women, or I'm bitter towards, you know, the father and all that. I hate my dad and all that. No, I wasn't like that. Now, I seen both of my parents are crazy. I'm talking about bipolar, schizo, everything. They suffer from a lot of mental disorder, but a lot of that's the curses. All right. You know, and I still love them. I love them both, you know, but I've had my issues with both of them. But like I said, I love them, you know, and it makes more sense coming into this truth and understanding the curses play a major role in that, you know, and I love them and I forgive them, you know, but the Heavenly Father, like I said, he's definitely showed favor and spared me from a lot of, you know, a lot of dysfunction and stuff like that by letting me be raised by my grandparents, you know, seeing that two-parent household, the structure, and true love and true discipline, you know. All right. But they were asking where the father is, okay, because there's a natural order. When you have that father there, things change. I think there was a video, I wish I had it, I would have added to this, but you know, while I'm speaking on it, but I think it was a girl that was she was all out of order and doing all kind of crazy stuff, but as soon as the father come in there and he said, hey, you know, you hear that voice like that, she straightened up real quick. Little young girl, but she straightened up real quick hearing that voice, man. You know, so father being there, man, definitely will set things in order. All right, this is 1 Corinthians 11:3. It says, but I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, okay, which is Hamashiach Yahushai. That's his name, okay. All right, he's the head over the man. All right, is an order, okay, and the head of the woman is the man, okay. So see, the woman, the man is over the woman, okay. So when that man ain't present, everything is not set on a solid foundation. With that, you know, I know women, you know, one of the things they do a lot of uplifting the single woman. Oh, she's doing what she got to do. She's a superwoman. She don't need no man and all this. But really, she does. Okay, yes, she's doing what she got to do and stuff. But it's not a solid foundation. And eventually, it might look good to the you know, the people out there, you know, public, like my sister, man, you know, like I said, I don't, not to try to put her business out there, but it's just definitely, you know, it can help somebody. All right. That's the whole purpose of this. You know, none of these things are coincidence. All right. But, you know, she's raising her son, you know, in a single parent household. Okay. And she really admits that, man, I would love to have that husband there. You know, have that husband to help, that structure and things like that. You know, she said it sucks having to do it on your own. I mean, she's doing what she got to do at the end of the day. And I told her I commend you for that, you know. But yeah, it's definitely, and then she has been trying to, like, you know, find a husband. But I was like, yeah, when you're looking at these worldly men, you know, that's the thing. All these guys, they just want to get with you for you know what. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know, trying to keep it clean, but y'all know what I'm talking about, man. That's what that's what's on the mind of a lot of these guys, okay? You know, so that right there is a red flag. All right. you know, but you have to seek a righteous man. But the thing about it is, you know, will she be able to hearken? Because see, the thing about it, when she's been doing everything on her own for so long, you know, you got your own house, you know, that's in your name, you got your own car, you pay your own bills, you got a very good paying job and things like that. That will put a certain spirit on you too, to where you just like, I don't need no man. So even when you do get that man, you ain't gonna know how to treat and be, you know, imagine trying to be submissive, you know, especially he might come around and not make as much money as you, so you might have that over his head. You know, I've seen a lot of marriages fall because of that, you know, because of, you know, not having not making as much money as the woman, which this society purposely does that. They uplift the woman to a point to where they make this money and all this kind of stuff to where they don't need a man, because they want to break that structure. See, Esau's wicked, man. His whole threat, you know, he's really against the man, okay? And then he wants to turn the man out. He wants to turn the man into, you know what, you know, pretty much, you know, I'll just say it, homosexuals. He want to turn a man, you know, into a female. This is what this devil is doing, man. That's why, man, we always set our face against Mount Seir and prophesy against them. You know, woe unto you that always saying, y'all always getting on Esau. What are we supposed to do? Not do so? That's what the scriptures tell us to do it. We got to point out his wickedness. All right? You know? And you got people, I'm talking about Israelites that say that, you know? But see, the elect, man, we going to stay grounded. We're going to prophesy against Mount Seir. You know? We're not going to shut up. This man is wicked, man. Okay? So again, it says, but I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ, okay, which is Yahushua, and the head of the woman is the man, okay, and the head of Hamashiach Yahushua, okay, is God, which God is Yahweh, okay, the Most High, the Ancient of Days, okay, that's the order, Yahweh, Yahushua, man, woman, and then underneath that is the children. When having that structure like that, okay, hey man, that's a solid foundation, okay. Because remember, you can have the man in there, but you got to have Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua in there in that equation too, for that to be a solid foundation. Because it can still, a man can be there and still be doomed to fall. Okay? All right? This is Colossians 3 and verse 20, you know, regarding them children. It says, children, obey your parents in all things, for this is well pleasing unto the Lord. Okay? So this is pleasing unto the Lord for you to obey your parents. Okay? You know, the woman was telling them to go to bed, okay? They talking about, they ain't even 9 o'clock or something like that. Hey, man, don't matter, okay? When we were young, man, hey, it was like, I think our bedtime when we were real young was like 8 o'clock, okay? We didn't complain. As soon as our parents told us that, you know, we went to bed. You know, I came up on the Cosby Show and stuff. They'll let us stay up and watch the Cosby Show and stuff. And right after that, bedtime, all right? Every now and then my mom would like reward us, like if we had good grades and stuff, and there was a good TV show or something on, as a family we'll sit and watch it together, okay? But other than that, man, hey, it'd be like, nah, man, hey, whenever the bedtime is, it's bedtime, go to bed. All right? So again, children, obey your parents in all things, for this is well pleasing unto the Lord, okay? That's pleasing unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, for you to obey your parents. You know, don't be rebellious, man, okay? Which we're going to get into that. All right? So you have that, all right? Hey, and this is Exodus 20 and 12. It says, honor thy mother, Salakia, honor thy father and thy mother, okay? That thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, okay? And this is why you see so many young people die young, okay? You know, because, hey, the Heavenly Father, man, nobody perishes being innocent. The scriptures tell you that. So a lot of times you see kids and things happen to them with judgment, okay? A lot of them could be, you know, if you look at their life, you know, because you know how Jake is, or Israel as a whole. You know, somebody, Israelite pass away, and I'm talking about 2/3 of our people. They always want to, oh man, they was a good person. They was this and this and that. But really they was doing all kind of stuff. Even if it was a child could have been rebellious, back talking to their parents, putting their hands on their parents, and all that. The Heavenly Father will judge you for that, man. Okay? You know? I had a lot, man, when waking up to this truth, you know, my life has not been perfect, and I've had issues with both of my parents. That's why I said there was a lot of repenting to do, you know, because a lot of stuff I've done could be worthy of death too. You know what I'm saying? The Heavenly Father don't be playing. So him waking me up to this truth, that's mercy, man. That's why I said we all, man, are nothing but filthy rags. All right, that's what keeps you humble. You be thinking about it and like, man, you know, praying the Heavenly Father have mercy on you, because we all could be worthy of death. Okay? So again, honor thy father and thy mother, okay, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Okay? You know, and this is why, like I said, people, you see us, a lot of Israel dying young, even children, being rebellious and stuff. All right. I was talking to this one lady last week, and she was telling me she's a Lyft driver, and she said that she picked up this young guy. He was about 17 over in Louisville. All right. And she said that she was dropping him off, but he was on the phone with his brother, and his brother told him, hey, do not get out of that car. I guess some people were looking for him. So he got out anyways, but he had a piece on him, and he told the lady, hey, I got a gun. Hey, don't get scared. I'm not going to use this on you or nothing. It's for my protection and stuff. And she was like, you sure you don't want me to? I guess he thought that she was spooked, but she really wasn't. She was kind of like, you want me to drop you off somewhere else? You know? And he was like, nah, I got this. But he had his gun, and he had it out, cocked and ready in case he had to use it. So she's like, and she said 17. And I was like, yeah, that's crazy. But that's life right now, the curses. Okay? You know, the Bible it talks about that in Deuteronomy too. You know, thy eye shall be evil towards your brother. Okay, that's heavy, man. That's why we got to get out of here. This place is hell. All right, it's a heavy spirit out here, and plus we're in a time where it says, you know, the love of many will wax cold. It's real bad. Okay, but yeah, you're supposed to honor thy mother and father. And this ain't talking about no Mother's Day and no Father's Day. This is all year round. You know, all day, every day. Okay. So I got the word honor pulled up. Okay. And it says high respect, great esteem. Okay. It says adherence to what is right or to a conventional standard of conduct. Okay. Hold on. Let's see. We'll see some other words. Look, distinction, privilege, glory, tribute, prestige, renown, credit, importance, respect. All right. And then the opposite of honor is disgrace. You don't want to be a disgrace. That child is a disgrace, man, to this family. You hear that a lot, you know. Okay. I've done things that made me look like I was a disgrace, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I would apologize to my family. Okay. Be a man about something. You know, I've done some things and stuff and make a mistake, you know, and ask for their forgiveness. All right. So that's a heavy thing. All right. This is Ephesians 6:4. It says, and ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath. See, this is heavy. All right. But bring them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. All right. Because, you know, one of the things, even though my parents divorced, you know, when I was born, so I didn't really get to know my father like that. I didn't even know he was my father until I was about 7. My mom was so bitter and mad at, you know, their whole divorce, and it was a nasty one, you know, and she never told us. You know, she got remarried, and one of my younger brothers, man, she told me that was our father. That was me and my older sister's father. We grew up thinking that was our father. My grandmother, when she got us and was raising us, she was like, no, y'all need to know the truth. My grandma didn't do all that lying and deceiving and stuff. She was like, no, even, you know, whether you bitter or not, you know, we have a right to know who our father is. You know, and she was showing us, and she showed us proof with the wedding pictures. We're looking like, okay, that's mom, but who's this guy? You know what I'm saying? We didn't know, but that was our father. All right. Now, she had her reasons, you know, for the divorce. He was, you know, there's two sides to every story, but at the same time, my father was abusive. You know, he was abusive to my mother. He put hands on her, you know. And from what my mom said, he put hands on my little sister. He didn't like, my sister was crying in the crib, and he would go in there and slap my sister as a newborn baby. You know, this is what he did. And I believe it because I seen him do he got remarried, and I got other siblings, you know, from his second marriage. And I seen how he did them. So I know my mom was telling the truth, you know. Now, my mom, she's not no saint. She did some things too. You know, there's, like I said, there's two sides to every story. But that's still, he had no right to put his hands on her. You know, but that's the type of person he is. All right. So, you know, no woman needs to be in that type of environment. All right. And he'll be judged for that, which he has been judged. It led to him going into prison, you know, for the situation with him and his second wife. And like I said, you know, I know it's like, you know, bringing personal business up, but hey, man, these things didn't happen for no reason. I'm sharing this with y'all to let you know, okay? Hey, you know, we got to do better. You know, we got to do better. This is you know, this is madness, you know. But we had a situation with my father. I actually got to live with him when we came back from living in Puerto Rico and came back here to the United States. You know, things just wasn't working with me, my mom, my stepfather and stuff. You know, he was treating us really bad. He wasn't always like that, but I don't know. It's like he got into this whole different, like he changed into a whole different person. And I didn't like it, you know. But it just wasn't working. And you know, he wasn't being a man, you know. He started off when we met him, he was a man, you know, and somebody that you could, you know, respect, you know, and then he wasn't that type of person. You know, he just didn't want to work anymore, just being a bum and stuff. And that stuff, man, it was hurting me. It was vexing. Even, you know, me being a young teenager, I didn't like that, man. You know, especially somebody who I look up to, you know, I was looking up to. But, you know, it didn't work out. So my mom was like, she said, you're going to go live with your father. And I was like, cool. You know, I get to be around my father and get to know him more, you know, because that would be the first time I get to live with him. But I'm already in my late teens, all right? But my dad, man, you know, just seeing how he is and stuff like that, man, he's sometimey, you know, very, like I said, both of them, they both schizo, bipolar, they suffer from all that stuff, man. All right, but all that ultimately is the curses and judgment from Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Ain't no telling what he did in his past life, you know. But, you know, he got a lot to answer for. But anyways, I respected his rules no matter what, you know. And he always said you can go out, hang out with your friends, whatever. He said, just all I ask is that you do your homework, all right? You know, try to bring home decent grades, and you can go hang out with your friends and all that, and you know, I have no problem with that. And I said, okay. So, that's what I did. You know, I had friends in the neighborhood. I wanted to go hang out. I knew them when we were young. So it was me being acquainted back with my friends, you know. And then I was sharing my experiences with, you know, living in Puerto Rico and stuff like that. But anyways, one of my buddies, he wanted to go to a church service, which it really wasn't a church service. It was more like we was going to this church, but they have their own gym in there where we could play basketball. And they were like, you know, some of the guys want to get together and play ball, you know, and we like you to come. And I was like, so I said, let me check with my father first. You know, hey, I knew, you know, I grew up with morals and I knew how to be a responsible person and respectful unto my parents. All right. So I picked up the phone, called them and asked them, I said, hey man, you know, Pops, man, you know, some of the guys, man, they want to go to the church and play ball, and they was wanting to know if I can go with them. And and as I got all that out, he quickly, I mean, it's like he didn't even take time to think. He said no, and then click. You know, he hung up the phone real fast, and I was just like, you know, you could tell the way he said it with his tone, hanging up super fast. There was some type of attitude. You know, so as soon as I come, I was like, I was like, man, I ain't gonna be able to go, man. I don't know. He just said no, straight up, hung up. You know, he's like, damn, you know. So I'm on my way home, and I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of disappointed in you know, because it was really more way he said it. So when I got home, he's standing there by the door, and he got his fist balled up like he's ready to swing on me. So I just asked him, I said, how come I couldn't go to the church, you know? And I just felt like, you know, I had a right to at least ask, you know, and understand, like, did I do something? You know, I do everything you asked me to do, the homework and stuff. And he said, because I said so. And he still was in that stance like he was ready to fight me. And I'm thinking, like, what did I do to provoke you to this point to where you're ready to swing on me? So I got in defense mode because I'm like, I don't know. You know, I've seen what he has done, you know. My mom, the stories about him putting his hands on her, beating my sister as a newborn baby. So I bucked up and I stood up, and I'm a little bit taller than him. So I told him, I said, do something, you know, just like that. And he just looked at me, and then I just went, you know, because I was ready to swing on him, but then I'm like, because I wanted him to hit me first, because then they'll try to say, oh, you know, he hit his hands on me and this and that, you know. But see, that's provoking your child. So then I just, I let it go. I cooled down. I went in my room. He came in there and apologized to me, but that wasn't the end of it. My dad is, I'm telling you, he's one of those people, he will hold on to something forever, all right? Even till this day. But I thought everything was cool, and I said, you know what, Dad, don't worry about it, man. I said, you were right. If you say no, then that's okay. I was just wondering. I'm like, did I do something? And he was like, no, you didn't do nothing, son. I just, I don't know. He just was apologizing and stuff, and I accept his apology. But I went to school thinking everything was cool. I came back home. I was getting off the school bus. He had all my stuff packed up, ready to go. Talking about, you going back to your mother's. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. So this is my father was really provoking me to anger, man. And that's why this is to wrath. All right, which the scriptures is telling you don't do that. All right, and then he told lies to my grandmother, trying to justify his reason for kicking me out. Which hey, you have every right. If you don't want me there, I don't have to be there. Okay. But this was one of the things that he did that made me uncomfortable, and I found out why he was really mad. What it was I was having issues with my math, and I had this one girl that was offering to be like a tutor. She said, I can help you, and I should have never told him nothing about it. It was an Edomite girl, all right. And I told him, this Edomite girl. I didn't say Edomite girl back then, because this was back. I was my teens back then, but I was just told him this white girl, man, wants to help. She's willing to help me with my math, so I could get my grades up a little bit on that. And he got like this major obsession with this girl. He didn't know what she looked like or nothing. He kept telling me, you can have sex in here. I don't mind it, and all this kind of stuff. So whatever is inside of a man is going to come out. All right. And I felt disgusted and uncomfortable talking to my dad about all that. He's like, you can have sex in here. You can do all this. Does she got a friend? And he's got a wife. And he's talking all this stuff. And and of course she didn't hear the conversation, but he's saying all this. She was home, but she was in her room. And I'm thinking like really? He's like, does she got a friend and all that? And every day he kept asking about this girl and all that. And I was just like, I was putting it off. I didn't even ask her, because that felt uncomfortable about that. And I think ultimately he got mad because I never brought her over. But I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm never going to bring this girl over here. With you saying that, you got a wife, and then on top of that, you asking about a young girl in that's in high school. And man, I felt disgusted, with my father. And I think ultimately he got mad about that, and he lashed out at me. And then, and he tried to use the reason of me, standing up to him, as a means of getting rid of me. All right. So again, this is Ephesians 6:4. It's a lot, I know it's long. I'll be telling these stories, but it can help you out and just show you like, man, hey, I went through a lot of stuff with my folks. But this is Ephesians 6:4. It says, all right, and ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. Okay, and he's never really been big with church and stuff, which we understand now. We coming into this truth, we know that wasn't the way anyways. He's read the Bible, but he never applied it, and he just put on a show. When he got out of prison, he made it act like, oh, he's all about the Lord and this and that and quoting scriptures and stuff. But it, and what the Bible say that, with their mouth, they worship me, but their hearts are far from me. And that's the situation with my pops. This man is something else, man. So I kind of cut him off. Like I love him. I respect him. I have no hate, nothing. That's my father. I'm grateful for my father and my mother. But if you come with that I don't have to sit there and take that either. Plus, we're not supposed to be unequally yoked with unbelievers, and that includes family, parents too. All right. But this is Exodus 21:15. Because see, I easily could have just put hands on him, but I didn't. All right. But this is it says, and he that smiteth his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. You see, because you could get into it with them and end up doing something. You know what I'm saying? You could end up being judged on that. I knew a guy, man, he had anger issues, and I guess he was spoiled. He ended up getting into it with his parents, and he pulled a knife out on them. I think he even cut his father, but they didn't press charges on him because they didn't want him going to prison. But he had one option. They were like, look, you're gonna have to go to the military or get out. They were ready to just willing to put him out, but they didn't want him messing his record up. So they didn't do that, but he ended up going into the military. All right, but he actually pulled a knife and cut his father. I mean, he was putting hands on his parents and everything, and that's worthy of death. Okay, you know. So again, and he that smiteth his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. All right. So there's that. You know, that kid in the beginning, you know, getting into it with his mom, the way he was with that wrath, he'll grow up and do that. He could grow up and put hands on his parents. Okay? All right. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, and I guess I'll start at verse 8. Let's see. All right. Yeah. And it says, now go and write before them in a table and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come forever and ever. Okay, verse 9, that this is a rebellious people. You see that? Very rebellious. All right, lying children. See that? Children that will not hear the law of the Lord. And you see, I brought out those precepts showing you how you need to conduct yourself amongst your parents. Okay, all right, you see that? Verse 10, which say to the seers, okay, see not, okay, which are the prophets, by the way, okay, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things. See, they don't want to hear that. Speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. That is the way of our people, okay, even adults, you know, but the children, everything, this is the way they think, okay, and the Heavenly Father's, man, not dealing with that. You'll be judged, okay. That's why I'm grateful for this truth, man. Woo wee, okay. And remember, it said, these are rebellious people. Keep that in mind, all right? This is 1 Samuel 15 and 23. For rebellion, okay, is as the sin of witchcraft. See that? Okay, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. And idolatry is heavy, okay? All right? You hear people talk about idolatry, but see, rebellion and stubbornness, okay? See, stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry, okay? And rebellion is witchcraft, okay? Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he hath also rejected thee from being king, okay? So that's a heavy thing, man. All right, you see that? That's heavy. I got the word rebellion, okay? And it says an act of violent or open resistance to an established government or ruler, okay? All right. You know, we got to obey the laws of the land. Because we're under captivity and stuff. Now, there's certain things, like if they say, look, we're mandating you got to take this mark. Okay, now we know, like, hey, no, that ain't right. And see, the Heavenly Father put that spirit on us too, man. So we can resist that. There's nothing wrong with resisting that. That's not witchcraft. All right. But resisting what is good, what is righteous, which is this word, these scriptures, the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that's witchcraft. Okay. All right, the other definition says the act or process of resisting authority, control, or conviction. Okay, and the authority is Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay, and you know, and then resisting his men. Okay, the true men of the Lord. Okay, who are not leading you astray. Okay, those that are telling you thus saith Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay, now we know there's men crept in unawares. We know that there's men that are set up, and they might seem as men of the Lord, but they're ravenous wolves and things like that, okay? The Bible says you'll know them by their fruits too, okay? But those that are sincere and everything, and they're not telling you wrong, hey, man, hearken unto them, because the Heavenly Father obviously is dealing with them, all right? So you got similar words like uprising, revolt, insurrection, mutiny, revolution, insurgents, rising, rioting, riot, civil disobedience, civil disorder, unrest, which the Bible tells you there will be unrest, okay? All right? Fighting in the streets, regime change, anarchy, Look, defiance, disobedience. Hey, man, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man, ain't dealing with that. If you're doing that against the Heavenly Father, okay? Now, for that rebellious kid, or rebellious kids, I should say, the boy and the little girl, but the boy was really showing out, all right? Back in the spirit world, or not the spirit world, in the ancient world, I mean, Salakia, in the ancient world, they would have been put to death, man, for that type of behavior, all right? Especially if they didn't straighten up, all right? This is Deuteronomy 21, and I'm going to start at verse 18. It says, if a man have a stubborn, remember what it said? That rebellion and stubborn, okay? Which is idolatry, okay? Iniquity, all right? Witchcraft, all right? if a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father, okay, or the voice of his mother. See, that the mother, she was given a command. Hey, you know, get ready for bed, okay? And that when they have chastening him, okay, that discipline, okay, that's discipline, all right, will not hearken unto them, okay? Verse 19, then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him and bring him unto the elders of his city, okay, and unto the gate of his place. Verse 20, and they shall say unto the elders of his city, this is our son, is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. Okay, verse 21, and all the men of his city shall stone him with stones that he die. See, he'll be put to death. So shalt thou put evil away from among you, all right, and all Israel shall hear and fear. So when they hear about this, they're gonna fear, like, hey, you know, we're gonna get right, you know what I'm saying, because we'll be put to death. Okay, they don't want to go through that. All right, so this is a heavy thing right here. All right, this is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 13. I'll start at verse 13 and I'll end it on this. Lord willing, this has been edifying unto you too, by the way. Okay, I know I'll be telling these stories and sometimes it can go a little bit, but like I said, man, if it can help somebody and just showing you, man, hey, man, we all been through stuff, man. You know, I can only imagine other brothers and sisters' testimonies and stories, but I grew up in a dysfunctional home, and the only really peace that I had was being raised by my grandparents. That really helped me to be who I am today, you know. Now, of course, I ain't perfect. I ain't no saint. I've done things and got into it. I've been in plenty fights, all kind of stuff, suspended from school, all kind of stuff, man. I've been through a lot of things, man. All right, but you know, just waking up, this truth, man, is everything to me, man. It's everything to me. That's why I take it very seriously. You know, it's real purpose, just its true purpose. All right, and Lord willing, I'll be of that precious number, you know, to see the deliverance. All right, but this is Ecclesiastes 12 verse 13. It says, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Okay, when it's all said and done, this is the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments. I was bringing out some of them commandments earlier. Okay, for this is the whole duty of man. You see that? Okay, verse 14, for God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Okay, so whether it be good or evil, you're still going to be judged. Okay, but you know, you can be judged in a good way, you know, for the good works that you've done. You know, you want to hear well done. That's what you want to hear when it's all said and done. All right, you don't want to hear him going into all these bad things that you've done, and he's looking at you pissed off too. That ain't a good sign, man. All right, that's like, man, I think I'm on my way to the lake of fire, you know, with all that. That's very scary, man. Okay, you don't want to see that, man. Nobody want to go through that. You don't want to hear, depart from me, I never knew you. All right, so you young children, all right, I don't know if you're tuning into my lessons or not. Maybe the parents are. Maybe they might play this for them. Okay, but you listen to your parents. If your parents tell you a time to go to bed or whatever the case might be, you do it without question. Okay, because ultimately they love you. Now we know that the curses play a part. Some of us grew up with very dysfunctional parents that hate their children and stuff like that, because best believe that happens, and a lot of that is the curses. All right, not hearkening unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay, but those that fear the Heavenly Father, he'll get you out of that situation. Like I said, most of my life I ended up being raised by my grandparents. When I wasn't with them, everything was pure hell and chaos. But when I was with my grandparents, there was structure, peace, and I was being raised upright. Okay, you know, the Bible says train up a child in the way he should go. Okay, and that's what they did. You know, so you know, with that, okay, Lord willing, you have found this lesson here edifying. I want to give all honor, all glory, and all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders of the nation of Israel, and shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Until the next one, shalom.